When Netflix announced plans to adapt Avatar, The Last Airbender back in 2018, fans met the news with curiosity and a significant dose of skepticism. For some, a live-action adaptation of one of the most beloved animated shows of all time seemed like a no-brainer, a chance to finally right the wrongs of M. Night Shyamalan's ugly and misguided 2010 attempt. For other fans, the very notion of adaptation was sacrilege. The original show, which ran from 2005 to 2008 on Nickelodeon, is widely hailed as one of the greatest animated series of the 21st century, an ambitious, anime-inspired saga that blended gorgeous world-building and thoughtful storytelling. It's certainly one of the few kids' TV shows to deftly tackle themes of morality, imperialism, and self-determination. As the Netflix premiere date crept closer and fans continued to bicker online, a general consensus began to emerge. How could any live-action adaptation possibly live up to the charms of the original animated series? And how could it be any worse than the previous attempt? Perhaps unsurprisingly, Netflix's Avatar falls somewhere in the middle. The series arrives more than a half-decade after it was first announced, with a new creative team and cheery young cast of newcomers. The result is a charming but imperfect adaptation that vastly improves upon the 2010 film, but never soars quite as high as the original animated show. Hollywood loves a live-action version of a beloved animated IP. And previous Netflix attempts have varied from decent, One Piece, to decidedly mediocre Cowboy Bebop. The new Avatar follows a similar model, hewing closely to the plot of the original series even as it trades 20-minute episodes for sprawling, hour-long installments. Heavily inspired by real-world Asian and indigenous cultures, the world of Avatar is divided into 4 nations: water, earth, fire, and air, where some residents can manipulate or bend a chosen element. The power-hungry Fire Nation disrupts years of peace when it wages war against the other nations, slaughtering the peaceful air nomads and kickstarting 100 years of violence. But a savior emerges in the form of the Avatar, a powerful figure who can wield all 4 elements and is reincarnated with every new generation. The latest incarnation is a 12-year-old airbender named Aang Gordon Cormier, an optimistic daredevil who has to balance global responsibility with the pressures of being a preteen. But even with charming lead performances, the show's biggest weakness is its style. For adapting such a gorgeous piece of animation, Avatar looks surprisingly drab in places. Part of what made the original series so magical was its lavish world building, tracking Team Avatar as they journeyed from Arctic oceans to bustling cities to lush, verdant forests. The Netflix show retraces those same steps, replacing hand-drawn animation with CG spectacle, and the effect is considerably less impressive. The series clearly relies on the same stagecraft, volume technology that's been popularized by Star Wars and Marvel projects, and as a result, the show trades its unique visual style for the same glossy, uninspired sheen that looks like everything else on TV right now. There are a few bright spots. In one early episode, Aang and Katara practice waterbending by an actual river, scooping up fistfuls of water to playfully splash each other. The series filmed in British Columbia. Watching the actors actually interact with the world around them, especially in a show that's literally about harmony with nature, just serves to make the over-reliance on the volume that much more blatant. There is potential here. Drab visuals aside, the actual bending scenes are a vast improvement over Shyamalan's version, and there's a distinct thrill in watching characters lob fireballs, raise walls of solid rock, or freeze ocean waves into spiky shards of ice. The cast also elevates every conversation and fight scene, and the main kids seem just as comfortable grappling with heavy themes as they do executing a backflip. After binging the season's 8 episodes, I found myself imagining how actors like Cormier or Liu might only continue to grow, especially when tackling plot points from later seasons. And besides, I can't be the only fan longing to see favorites like Toph Beifong back on screen. Hopefully, Netflix's Avatar proves to be a bit like its titular hero, still early in its journey, with great potential on the horizon. As Aang comes to learn, he contains the souls of every Avatar to come before him, and he often leans on them for insight and advice. Past incarnations can be a useful guidepost, but eventually, every Avatar needs to find their own voice, too. Grade B.